Hey guys, Mohammed Ullah here. Today I've just had a phone call off one of my students. In fact, my first ever student that bought my Financial Freedom from One Property program. And he's just bought a car from my area and he's coming to show me the car. I think we're going to have a good catch up with him and find out how his property journey has been so far. Hey, Muhid! Wow! How you doing?
Yeah, mate.
You alright? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Wow, nice car.
Oh, this is it.
You did it.
So I thought I'd let you have a look.
Brilliant.
Where do we go?
Yay! Sounds good. Can't say no to that. I test drove one of these when they first came out. Absolutely brilliant. Around 100 grand, something like that. Yeah. Go on.
16 grand.
Oh, wow! How many years? How many? 7 years old. So 7 years later, 100 grand to 16 grand. That's the best time to buy, right? Come on, let's take it for a drive. Brilliant. You're my first ever student that bought my program.
That's
You're my
right.
first customer.
Mm.
How was it for you? Because when we did a follow-up call, you phoned me and said you weren't going to go for it.
Yeah, that's right. So we had a bit of a rocky start. Me and you, we first had our first conversation, and the thing I liked was you wanted to learn about me, what my goals were, and you wanted to find out what my challenges were as well.
Yeah.
And through the questions that you asked, I'll be honest, when I started it, I was a bit scatterbrained. I had a lot of energy to give, but I didn't really know how to focus it. Through the questions that you asked, you helped me identify what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, cool, I now know what I want. And there was a side of me that thought, now I know what I want, let me take a shot by myself. I don't need a teacher, I don't need to pay X amount of money, let me do it myself.
Yeah.
So that's when I called you back and thought, Mo, thank you for the call, it was really helpful, but you know what, I'm going to give it a shot by myself. I think I can do it.
Yeah.
And
A lot of people think they can do it by themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Get it all the time.
you made a response, and your response, it kind of hit home in the sense that in the past I have tried it by myself, and in the past I did fail, and I kept trying to do it by myself several times, but because I didn't have the guidance, I was making the same mistakes again and again. I wasn't learning from the mistakes, and mistakes are fine so long as you don't make them again and you learn from it.
Mistakes cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've made lots of mistakes in business by not having the right mentors and the right trainers and the right support. And I've realised this, and I, know that it's so much wiser to have somebody that's been there, done that, bought the t-shirts, and them mistakes. Not making them mistakes saves you a lot of money.
That's right. So in the end of that conversation, you made really strong points in terms of the guidance and things like that.
Yeah.
And you made a really passionate speech as well, in the sense that I could feel your emotion and you wanted to help me because you saw the potential in me.
Oh yeah.
You saw the potential. And I was still a little bit skeptical, but I thought, you know what? It just so coincidentally at the time, my credit card company, they offered me a promotion. They offered me a 0% on new purchases.
Yep.
And it was an American Express as well. So I love using American Express. Not so many companies take it, but when they do take it, you get to earn points and use those points to redeem all sorts. So I mentioned, can I pay by credit card? And he was like, yeah, definitely, we take credit card. Yeah. And I said, all right then. So
I had to check if we took American Express.
Yeah. And luckily he did, because that meant that I was able to buy the course and pay 0% over 12 months.
That's what I call a no money down deal, baby.
Using other people's money to get their products.
One of my students, I mentioned this to him, 0% interest on purchases, credit card, and he actually got a 20-month one with
Wow.
HSBC.
Even better.
Absolutely brilliant. You don't have to pay for it for 20 months. You
20
can
months,
do the
yeah.
program, make money, and pay for it later. That's how wise businessmen do their business. They use other people's money, and I love the fact that you did that. Now,
But let me say one thing about that though.
yeah.
Because I'd now paid, now I was like, urgency. I need to get value for my money, and I better get value for my money within that 12 months. I have to do something now because I've paid it now. Like, I've done so many free courses.
Yeah.
I've taken so many tips from YouTube and like free PDF handouts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And when it's free, you don't really care. But
You don't value it.
Once you pay for it, it's like, damn, I need to use this now.
I have a simple saying.
You can't.
When they pay attention.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And they pay for something. Look, when I paid for my trainings and
Yeah.
so on, I paid £12,000, £20,000, big bucks to big people. And I was definitely getting my return on investment. I'd invested in myself. Me buying a program with anybody is me bettering myself. So I invested in myself, and I made sure that I put the work in to make it happen. Now, everybody's property journey is different.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the time, you were earning £30,000,
Yeah.
and you came on my program because you wanted to up that.
Yes.
Now, tell me a bit about your journey and what happened, how you got your value.
Cool. So yeah, I was in a stable job and I enjoyed my job, but the income, I felt it wasn't increasing. I kind of hit this limit of what I could earn in my role, and I would apply for promotions and I'd get it temporarily on a secondment, but I never secured the permanent position just because of whatever factor, not because of my ability, but there was always someone ahead of me or in the waiting list, and there's a bit of a boys club where I used to work. So I was like, I need to make an income elsewhere, and in the past I've tried via property. I tried being a living landlord, and even though that worked for a while, I just found I didn't find it comfortable living with someone who was renting from me, and I kind of liked my space. I wanted to have some separation from that. And then I learnt a little bit about the whole rent-to-rent thing. I started seeing a few videos online from such big personalities like Samuel Leeds, and I'd always great guy. I'd always hear the success stories, but they'd never give the actual formula of how they'd done it. It's always like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and I was curious, but I couldn't find an avenue or a resource to find out how to do it. And then I was thinking, okay, I've put my foot into it, I've dipped my toe into it. I'd really love to do it, but do it properly. And then I think I saw your advert. And your advert, I think it was on Facebook. And the thing,
£5,400 profit from one property.
And I was thinking, damn, instead of all the stories I'm hearing of people managing 2, 3, 4, 5 rent-to-rent properties, this man's doing it with one property and getting the salary that he wants, getting the income he wants, but only managing it with one property.
Multiple streams of income from one property.
And it's all automated. And he's only putting in 2-3 hours of work a week.
It's beautiful.
And like, there I am slogging away 40 hours a week, taking orders from people I don't really respect, having deadlines and answering emails all day, every day. I'm thinking, I need a change. This guy, he presents as if he knows what he's doing. Let's see if he does. And then talking through him helping me find out what I want.
1 hour financial freedom strategy sessions. I got to understand you, whether this program's right for you or not. Right, and whether you can actually make this happen. I won't sell you something that won't work for you.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that made me also be encouraged to join your course was the fact that you did have business experience. You had the experience with the taxi firm, the takeaway, and property before. And there was a lot of people who had success stories on YouTube, but it was their first venture into property. They didn't have the other background knowledge. They didn't know how to, do things like manage the taxes and how to set up a company structure and things like that. They were just following whatever formula they learned from whoever class.
I had hundreds of people working for me. Several businesses on the go at the same time, worked all the hours God sends. They made mistakes, made progress as well, and you learn from it. When you work so many hours and I was hitting 46 now, so it's time to slow down a little bit and work a bit smarter. For me, it was, how do I work less hours and make more money? And obviously property, I educated myself in property, and then I had to find the right formula. I wasn't given the formula. I went out there, I watched so many people make so many mistakes, and big training companies charging thousands and thousands, and I came away thinking, how can I do this better? How can I give people a straight line approach and help them achieve the same thing that I've done? I wanted it for myself first, found it for myself. I thought, right, I'm going to support as many people as I can on this planet to do the same, work less hours and make more money with property. So I came up with this formula and I put it out there to help other people.
So after I paid for your course, you set me up with the training program. And you showed me the structure, and there was a few classes already online for me to have a look at. And what I really liked about the training structure was that there was resources there that I could access at my leisure. The thing I hate about physical classes is you have to be there on time at a particular date and time, and if you work shifts like I did, it's haywire to try and do that. I was able to fit these courses in either on my phone or my tablet whenever I had an hour spare, 2 hours spare, and get the lessons in. And the thing that was most paramount, the first thing that was in the course, wasn't about property, wasn't about money, it was about mindset.
If you don't have the right mindset, you won't be able to change your situation. Same mindset, same situation.
Definitely.
Change the mindset, change the result.
Definitely. Now, I always known that I had ability. I always known I was a hard worker. But there were always times when I'd either miss the mark or my energy would be spread a little thin. It wasn't ever focused. And I'd try, but I'd never do. And that's the difference. Having the mentality to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to succeed, versus I'm going to try this and I might succeed.
I always say, you can take as many training courses as you want, but if you don't put the action in, you won't get the results. Action's the secret recipe. Get your ass and get them. Pick up that phone. Get out there.
So what I remember, one of the things I did, one of the first things I did was doing the calling. I remember taking one day, I had, because of my shifts, it was quite difficult for me to dedicate time towards the course, like big chunks of time. But there was one day when I had about 5 hours of free time. I said, you know what, I'm going to start calling all the properties that I found. I made a big list, all the estate agents in the local area, all the properties I could find on all the various resources. Chatting to so many landlords, estate agents, people who didn't even know that they could be landlords. And I was able to put in so many calls, and every single call was a learning experience. I was able to improve. I was able to improve the style of how I talk. I was able to know what questions worked, what questions didn't work. Even if I got a rejection, I'd always ask for feedback of, okay, fine, you don't want to go with me, but may I ask why? And then I could use that to then improve my questioning, improve my speech, improve the way that I would talk to the other potential customers or potential investors.
You're in it to win it. So by being in the program, you're making the calls, and as you're going along, you're learning more and more and more.
That's right. And the course, it gives you the instructions, but it also gives you the tasks. And doing the tasks, it helps you put into action the theory that you learn. And then that cements it in. And then the beautiful thing is, if you find it challenging, you just refer back to the course again,
Yeah.
and try again and try again. And it's modular. So let's say chapter, I don't know, 2, 3 or 4 is going great, and chapter 5 you're finding a bit of difficulty. Go on to chapter 6, give that a go, and then come back to chapter 5 and then see what happens. And then also, what was brilliant,
Cool.
we had the weekly Zoom calls.
Hey.
So I was able to feed back to you exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as more students were coming on board,
Yeah.
we was able to chat and, you know, share our experiences, what
Yeah.
worked, what didn't work. And outside of the calls, also we were exchanging numbers and strategies.
Property can be a lonely journey if you're on your own.
Definitely. Yeah.
And one of the biggest reasons why I've created this group of entrepreneurs that want to succeed in property is the more the merrier. When you're supporting one another, when you've got a team of positive people around you, your results become positive. And when everybody's sharing their experiences, sharing their wins and so on, and we're celebrating together, it's just so much nicer than doing property on your own. Team together, everyone achieves more.
Definitely.
You know.
So I was going through my journey. I was building confidence. I was getting the mindset right, and maybe for whatever reason, even though I was putting in the work regarding property, I wasn't getting success in the property. Okay. Maybe it was the location that I chose. Maybe it was just the luck of the draw. Okay. Maybe it was because of I don't know. Maybe my technique wasn't quite there. But even though I'd get potential clients, potential properties, I wasn't getting the sealed deal.
Okay.
So I was thinking,
we call it discipline your disappointments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, nobody ever finds the diamond straight away, do they? You got to keep digging.
Yeah.
Right?
And I won't lie. After about 5-6 months of trying, I was a little bit discouraged. I won't lie.
Oh yeah, breaks your heart.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at the same time, I'm conscious. Shit, I've paid $6,000 for this course.
Yep.
I need to get my.
I call that the little voice kicking in.
Yeah.
The little voice kicking in.
Yeah.
Oh, you paid $6,000. The little voice.
I started having doubts.
Starts doubting.
Yeah. And I took a step back away from the course.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, let me see if I can get wins in other ways, because I'd learned the mindset.
Yep.
And it's not just for property; it's transferable.
What? So I'm glad you said that, because one of your wins is absolutely amazing. Tell me about that.
All right.
How's it transferable?
So. When you start changing your mindset and you start thinking about success and deserving success, you start operating in a different way.
Yeah.
And people notice it. So for example, in my job, my base pay was £30,000 and I was doing crazy shifts in order just to top that up.
Yep.
I was like, I don't want to keep working like this.
You're working longer hours to get more money.
Exactly. I want to work less and earn more.
Yep.
Then I saw that there was quite a big waiting list for a job opportunity at work, and a lot of people talk about it. Oh, I wish I could apply for that, wish I could apply for that. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wish, I'm just going to do it. I applied for the job, focused and concentrated, and told myself I'm going to discipline myself to study and pass all the qualification tests. Within the month, 6 weeks, I passed qualification and I got the job. I doubled my salary. I went from 30,000 to 60,000 without shifts.
£30,000 a year job to a £60,000 a year job.
That's right.
Using the mindset training.
Correct. So
absolutely brilliant.
So I might not have won in the property game, but in my life, that was a big win.
That's interesting. Well, that's interesting you say you might not, because you told me something about your property side of things.
That's right.
So wait a minute. So
yeah.
£6,000 investment, you've gone from a £30,000 a year job to a £60,000 a year job. How much is that job on right now?
So after getting the job and performing really well, I've been promoted and I'm on about 75,000 now.
£75,000 a year job. Okay.
And that's 1 year, well, just shy of 1 year of joining your course.
Right. Now, Absolutely brilliant result.
Yeah.
Look, everybody's journey is different.
That's right.
I'm not gonna say it's not, and this is why I have the 1 hour sessions with people to understand their journey.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're gonna get a win. If you focus with your mindset, focus with what you're doing, you're gonna get a win.
Yes.
Now, you haven't bought the financial freedom from one property yet. You
Correct.
haven't got your rent to rent yet.
Correct.
Right? Now, tell me how you did have your win in your property, because I share your story with everybody that comes on.
Okay.
So tell me about your win on the property side of things.
Okay. So I'm studying through the course, and I learned a lot about property, how to search for properties, best locations.
So you're now an educated investor.
Exactly.
Because of the education that you've had.
That's right.
Because of the education that you paid for.
Yes.
Not the YouTube education. There's a massive difference,
There
right?
is, there is.
that right?
There is.
With the free stuff on YouTube
Yes.
and the paid stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now I know more about property than the average person.
Yep.
I am now able to advise my friends and family on searching for properties that are better than the average person could find. Now, with that in mind, now I had a new salary. I wanted to move out of my 2-bedroom flat. I wanted to get a house.
Okay. So when you first came to me, 2-bedroom house, you wanted a 2-bedroom flat, and you wanted to get a house.
That's
okay,
right.
good. We've got to visualize this to materialize it. We've got to want things in life. If you don't want to do this, want to do that, want to do this, just stay where the hell you are.
That's
then.
it.
Tell me what you want. I always say to people, tell me what you want. Make a list of it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So you
I-
wanted.
I had a vision. I didn't want
yeah.
to live in my 2-bedroom flat anymore.
Okay.
I love the area, but I wanted a house now.
Yeah.
So through the means of getting a new better paid job, obviously I can now start to apply for slightly larger mortgages.
Yeah.
And the types of properties are a lot nicer.
Okay.
So I'm now searching around, and it just so happens that next to where I live at the time, there was a really nice house for sale.
Yeah.
It was on sale in the summer of 2023,
Yeah.
and it was on sale for £350,000.
Yeah.
And I noticed it was on for sale, but at the time I hadn't had my new jobs yet, so I knew I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I'd keep an eye on it on sites like Rightmove and Zoopla, and I noticed it will come on and off sale quite a few times.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, let me see what's going on with this property.
Yeah.
I approached the owner of the house, because he had the for sale sign outside his house, and I knocked on his door, and I said, hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. I noticed you had this house for sale, and I noticed that sometimes it's on sale, sometimes it's off sale. Can I just ask what's happening with the property? And he was quite happy that I turned up, and we had a chat about the house, and he showed me around the house.
Yeah.
And he was saying how people were making offers,
Yeah.
but then it fall through on like the finance side of things.
Yeah.
Or it fall through because they didn't able to raise the deposit and things like
I
that.
remember you telling me about this.
Yeah.
And I said, knock on his door.
Yeah.
You were like, well, what do I do? You know, this is the situation, this is the scenario. Isn't it nice to have that person there that you can message and tell them your situation and find a solution?
That's it. So
Yeah.
I said to him, like, at the moment, how long are you under contract with your estate agents? And he said he had about 2 months left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You investigating.
Yeah. So I said,
Okay.
I would really love to buy your property, but at the moment, I know you're under contract with your estate agents. If it's the case that you don't find a buyer by the time your term comes up, have a chat with me. Not only do I have my finances in place, which I can prove to you by showing you my bank statements,
Yeah.
I've also got my team in place. I've got my solicitor,
Yeah.
I've got my surveyor, and I've got my people ready to go. I can move quickly.
Oh, look at you.
And the
You're
reason
a
I got my
professional.
team,
Yeah.
is because through the course I learned how to develop a team.
There you
And
go.
how to have access to resources, for example, that you could help me get.
Yeah.
And he was quite impressed. He was like, oh, you seem quite serious. And I was like, I am serious. And look, here's all my credentials. I just live just there. You know, if you ever need anything, you let me know. Even if I'm not the one that buys your property, if you want advice on how to make things progress quicker,
Yeah.
you let me know.
Oh, look at you little professional.
So that mindset of, even if I don't win,
This
let me
is
provide
a
value.
guy that was on 30 grand a year, living in a 2-bedroom flat and so on, and all of a sudden he's a professional educated property investor.
That's it.
Picture somebody, yeah? Absolutely brilliant.
the time comes along that the contract runs out with his estate agent,
Okay.
and I asked him, so what do you want to do? And I was being proactive with it because I really wanted this house.
Yeah.
Perfect location, so much potential.
Well, you didn't show him that you
No,
really
no, no,
wanted it.
no. My heart was saying it, but I kept it calm and cool, stone-faced.
Yeah.
And I made sure to keep a good relationship with him in the sense of like whenever I'd see him on the street, I'd say hello, or I'd check in on him. How's it going?
Relationships are everything, my
It
friend.
is,
Relationships are everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he was like, all right then, so yeah, I didn't find another buyer. Are you still interested in buying? And I was like, yep, definitely. So I said, first of all, we can, because we're not going through the estate agents, we can knock 3% off the price anyway. That saves you money, that saves me money. And he was like, all right, fair enough. So that was about 19 grand off the price straight away.
19 grand.
Nine.
1900.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
no.
£9,000.
9,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
off the
Okay.
price straight away. Yeah, because that's what the estate agents was going to charge.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why that was the deal he agreed to, but I've seen estate agents go as low as like 0.9%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but
Yeah.
he probably got a bad deal. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was able to. That's 350 down to 340. Now the market at the time was really, really weird. There was people trying to sell, but no one could get mortgages. The
Yeah.
interest rates were really, really high, and yeah, it's like it was really strange.
That's
time.
the best time to pick up bargains.
That's it. That's
yeah.
it. Now,
Okay.
through the few visits that I had at his house, I was able to learn about the history of the house, the works that he's done, the works he's put off, and because I had access to professionals who knew about how to fix things, for example, structural engineers or people who would like treat damp or plumbers. Like I had a good team around me. I was able to get advice and kind of cost up what it would cost me to repair all these things and get the house up to my specification.
Yeah.
And I said to him, look, I want to really buy this house with you. I'm really keen. However, this needs done, that needs done, that needs done. For example, one of the rooms had something. I had a basement room, and the basement had a rising damp.
Yeah.
And the owner said himself he was always putting off fixing it because he knew he was going to sell eventually. But I said, look, it's going to cost me £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 to fix this. If I get a quote from a professional, can you knock off the price of the house? And he was like, that's only fair. So I had my professional come in and provide a written official document statement and quote saying this is how much it will cost.
Yeah.
So I was able to knock another £7,000 off the house.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah,
that's-
you're understanding the problems of the house,
Yes.
and there is a cost to fix these problems of the
Yes,
house.
yeah.
So you're finding out what the retail value is of getting that repaired, and you're saying, hey, I need you to knock off the retail value.
Yes.
Obviously, because you're a property investor, a professional one now, you get things at trade price.
Correct.
So you make that bonus there.
That's correct.
Okay.
So I then got the survey done at the house.
Yeah.
And one of the other things was that the surveyor picked up was the roof
Yeah.
and how certain works need to be done. That surveyor gave his own estimate on the cost on the repairing on the roof,
Okay.
but I knew through my contacts that I could get that roof fixed a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So I presented to the seller.
Do you remember how much it was, the roof?
Yeah, so we're looking at about £15,000.
Okay.
Yeah, but I could probably get it done for about £9,000 or £10,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You've got to go with the retail amount, what
Yeah.
it'll cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether you can get it done cheaper at trade prices,
but
that's the difference.
I mentioned all these details to the seller, and then I was able to get another nearly £15,000 off.
Okay.
Yeah. So after all of this negotiation,
Yeah.
we agreed not only on a handshake deal, but we've got the solicitors involved.
Yeah.
We agreed on the price, starting at £350.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to get in total £36,000 off.
Woohoo!
So it ends up that the property for 350 grand, I managed to buy for 314. And 314.
Right.
And
350, 314, that's £36,000 off.
£36,000 off.
Ooh.
So all of that through just having a chat and building a relationship, but actioning what I had learned through the course.
So, let me get this right. Your wins are, number one, you use the mindset training program and you went from a 30 grand a year job to a 60 grand a year job, and now you're on 74 grand a year with that job.
That's right.
Okay, that's a brilliant win for
Yep.
a £6,000 investment.
Yep.
And then your other win is the fact that you saved over £30,000 in buying your first property
That's right.
for you to live in.
That's right.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Absolutely brilliant. Look, everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
Right? You're on it, brilliant. You're doing it. Now, you didn't go for the financial freedom from one property yet.
Yet.
Am I right in saying yet?
Yeah.
You're on your 74 grand a year now. You've got your house and so on, your dream house that you want.
Mm-hmm.
What more can you ask for?
But
What's next?
what's next? Well,
Is-
now that I'm a homeowner,
Yeah.
I have the ability to do other things. So now I can take out mortgage products for things like buy to let. Now
Yeah.
that I have a property, I can, for example, set up a limited company and show that I have credibility in terms of
Yeah.
being a director.
Normally what people do is get their investment right and then they buy their own house and so on. But it's okay. It's okay. You've got a good job. You know, you're in a better headspace.
Yes.
And you know, you now can move on to the next episode.
That's right. And when you look at the all-encompassing picture, I've got the education in property now. When I execute, I will succeed. Now I've got a higher income and my bills are actually lower than it was before. I now have more money to put towards this property journey. And again, I'm going to use the lessons learned, but also the relationships that I've built to make sure that when I do execute, I will succeed. And now I've got you still, access to you. You're going to help me to get even more wins.
Yeah. So what is your next plan?
Right. So 1 year has gone by. I
Yep.
went from 30,000 to 60,000 to 75,000.
Yeah.
The next milestone is I want to hit 100,000 by next year.
By next year.
By next year.
Okay. So, what kind of support do you think you need to help you get to that? You've got the program,
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
What kind of support do you think you need from me?
So I think it's going to have to be, I'm going to have to be a bit selfish here. I might have to steal you away from the other students.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if I can find some time where I can just dedicate maybe a few days or a week where it's just me and you can just work on an action plan. Utilizing the strengths that I have and just attack this property thing. Just attack it, because we're still in that window. Right now it's April 24, we're still in that window where it's a investor's market. So I want to capitalize on that. And you're a man who knows how to execute quickly.
Yeah.
So
So you're thinking one-to-one mentoring?
one-to-one mentoring. Yeah, that's the idea.
So you're upgrading from the £6,000 program to the £10,000 program and going on the one-to-one mentoring side for 6 months journey to get you to that 100k.
If I can get it in 6 months, you'll be driving a different car, test driving a different car, man. So what do you think of the car, man? You drove it all the way through?
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It's still like brand new.
Yeah.
It's still brand new. £16,000. It's a brilliant investment. You see, I'm old school. I used to run taxis, fleets since I was 17. Love cars, sold cars, drove so many different cars. And the way I look at it, I'm not that guy that will go and pay 100 grand for it. I actually did buy a brand new Mercedes. I'm going to keep it forever and see how long that can last. That can be handed down to the girls and so on. I'm one of them that wants to, get my money's worth out of that car.
Yeah.
Now 16 grand, I look at this car and I think I can drive this for 10 years and it's going to cost me 1,600 quid a year.
Yeah.
Basically.
But guess what my plan is for this?
Go on.
So this car's got lifetime free charging.
Oh,
Right?
oh,
So
free gas, man.
so let's say another 5 years passes and my battery is maybe like 70% capacity of what it was when it was brand new. I'm going to pay 6-7 grand for a brand new battery.
Yeah, from Tesla.
From
but
Tesla.
You can get off market.
That's
ones.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to give me another 150,000 miles of free travel. Free driving for the life of as long as I don't crash this thing.
I'm not in the taxi game, but I'd put this in the taxi game and drive this round all day long.
Yeah, so
I tell you what, it's nice and comfy as well. It's absolutely luxury in here.
It's like I'll replace every part so long as the VIN number stays the same. I'm all right.
Brilliant, brilliant. All right, Muhid, listen, thanks for coming down. Really appreciate you talking to us about this. I look forward to do some one-to-one with you.
Me too.
Yeah? Brilliant.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, buddy.
No worries.
All right.